January 3rd, 2026, President Donald J. Trump authorizes Operation Absolute Resolve. The objective: capture Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. 100 miles off the coast of Venezuela, Chief Warrant Officer 5, Eric Slover, lifts off from the USS Iwo Jima as the flight lead of the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, the Night Stalkers. Flying in stealth, 100 feet above the water to avoid radar. Deep in the heart of Caracas, Venezuela, stood Fort Tiuna, a heavily fortified military compound where Nicolas Maduro believed he was untouchable. As Slover closed in, all hell broke loose. Enemy machine guns opened up from every angle. 15 armor-piercing rounds tore through his cockpit. 4 of them hit his leg and hip. However, he held that aircraft in the line of fire while his Delta Force team got off safely. He then maneuvered to take out enemy positions. Had Eric given up that night, the outcome would have dominated headlines across the world. The United States military awarded him the Medal of Honor, the highest decoration a soldier can receive. This is his story. Because Slover is an active Special Operations soldier, the military has deliberately kept his personal background out of the public record's eyes. What the record does show, clearly and completely, is 20 years of an impenetrable career, one that built one of the most capable and decorated combat aviators America has ever seen. Eric Slover enlisted in the U.S. Army in 2005. After basic training, he attended Warrant Officer Candidate School and then Flight School, where he became a Chinook helicopter pilot. The CH-47 Chinook is massive, loud, and unmistakable. It's built to carry people and cargo in any terrain. In the hands of a great pilot, it becomes something else entirely. Long before showing up at Maduro's front step, Slover had already proven himself under fire. In November of 2009, while deployed to Badghis Province, Afghanistan, he was flying a medevac mission to rescue wounded soldiers from a hellish firefight when Taliban insurgents attacked. A rocket-propelled grenade struck the aircraft. Miraculously, it did not detonate. A live RPG remained lodged inside the helicopter as Slover landed safely and the wounded were evacuated. He later earned the Distinguished Flying Cross for his actions. It was one of many moments that helped build his irrefutable reputation. At some point in his career, the exact details classified, Eric Slover was selected for the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, the Night Stalkers. Their motto: Night Stalkers don't quit. Getting selected is not a matter of applying. Every candidate goes through Green Platoon, the regiment's selection and assessment program. It is designed to find the best of the best pilots, with both technical excellence and psychological resilience. They spend years under continuous evaluation. Pilots who make it in start as basic mission qualified before reaching fully mission qualified status. And even then, not every qualified pilot becomes a flight lead. A flight lead commands the entire helicopter formation on complex, high-stake insertion missions. They navigate the threats and are usually the first ones in and the last ones out. By January 2026, Eric Slover was a Chief Warrant Officer 5, the highest rank in the Army's Warrant Officer Corps, and the flight lead for one of the most well-executed operations in modern American military history. Nicolas Maduro had run Venezuela into the ground for over a decade, despite it having one of the largest proven oil reserves in the world. By 2025, his government had been formally designated a narco-trafficking state by the United States, actively facilitating the flow of cocaine into American cities. His military compound at Fort Tiuna seemed impenetrable. It was protected by surface-to-air defense systems the Russians and Chinese had sold him, S-300 and S-400 missile batteries. Chinese built jamming and early warning technology. Russian supplied radar systems. Fort Tiuna was not somewhere you could simply fly a helicopter into. American intelligence located Maduro at the compound, and President Trump gave the order at 10:46 p.m. Eastern Time. Operation Absolute Resolve commenced. More than a staggering 150 aircraft were involved, launched from 20 different bases on land and at sea across the entire Western Hemisphere before a single helicopter crossed into Venezuelan airspace. AGM-88 HARM missiles had already torn through Venezuelan radars, anti-aircraft systems, antennas, and command vehicles. B-1B Lancers launched standoff cruise missiles from hundreds of miles away, striking La Carlota Air Base, Barquisimeto Air Base, and Fuerte Tiuna, the most fortified military compound in the country, and severing their chains of command. And at 2:01 in the morning, local time, under a full moon, while Venezuela slept, Slover's helicopters crossed the coastline at 100 feet above the water and drove towards their objective. He was at the controls of the lead MH-47 Chinook, the first aircraft into the compound, carrying the Delta Force assault team, tasked with capturing Maduro, treading through a dense jungle valley and mountainous terrain, and the gaps in Venezuela's suppressed, but not fully eliminated air defense network. There was no margin for error and no room for hesitation. Against remaining odds, Slover touched down at the landing zone, and then machine gunners opened up multiple positions, close range, firing from every angle simultaneously. 15 armor-piercing rounds tore through the cockpit. 4 of them hit his leg and hip. Miraculously, no headshots. His Delta Force team had not yet cleared the helicopter, so Slover held his aircraft in the exact position it needed to be, stationary, exposed, in the open direct line of fire until every man was off safely, his legs shredded, blood filling the cockpit. He scanned the compound and identified the heavy machine gun positions. He maneuvered to neutralize the positions. He turned to his co-pilot, who had also been wounded, and said, "Take over. I'm about ready to pass out." He had held on long enough to insert the team, keep the aircraft in the kill zone until they were clear, and suppress the threat before he finally let go. By 3:29 that very same morning, Eric and his men, along with Nicolas Maduro and his wife, were aboard the USS Iwo Jima. 7 Americans wounded that night. All of them came home. 52 days later, after the raid, Eric Slover walked into the United States Capitol with his wife Amy beside him.
Chief Warrant Officer Slover is still recovering from his serious wounds, but I'm thrilled to say that he is here tonight with his wife Amy, Eric, and Amy, come on in. So we have a surprise for Eric and Amy. In recognition of Eric's actions above and beyond the call of duty, I would now like to ask General Jonathan Braga to present Chief Warrant Officer Slover with our nation's highest military award, the Congressional Medal of Honor.
The Night Stalkers don't seek attention. By design, their missions are classified, their identities protected. Their sacrifice almost never get acknowledged in public. For 20 years, Eric Slover flew into places most people will never know about, carrying men into darkness and bringing them home. We salute